Not one politician in jail. No one gives us our money back. People say, give me my money. But they just reply by telling you something about the International Monetary Fund. As if I care about that. Give me my money back. I have earned and saved. My life is wasted. But I wish for my children to be able to live freely. I don't want them to be constantly exploited like me. My children should be free. They were born here and should live here. They should not have to leave the country. Frustration is growing, along with the queues in front of the consulates. Tens of thousands of Argentinians are trying to go abroad, especially to countries of origin, like Spain and Italy. Why are you standing in a queue? To get Italian citizenship for my 3 children. There is no future here. Isn't that a little drastic? Yes, definitely. But there is no future here. I have lived my life. I am 60 years old, and I won't pack my bags. But my children should have a chance. In 20 years, things may be brighter so that they can return. Yes, it is difficult to leave one's family and friends. But I have no second thoughts. There is nothing else to do but leave. Things could brighten up. My father came here after the war, and now I have to leave. I came here just 1 month ago to settle down in Argentina. My family is here, my parents and my sisters. I didn't think it was this bad. I followed the news in Italy, but thought this was normal for Argentina. When I arrived, I saw my friends and family were suffering badly. The middle class and the lower middle class have grown poorer. It is completely impossible for me to stay. I am trying to convince my family to go with me to Italy. There is no future here. I can't have a family here. If I bring my children here, they will inevitably suffer. The queue in front of the Spanish embassy is even longer than the one in front of the Italian embassy. Spain and Italy provide citizenship to children and grandchildren of emigrants. Tens of thousands of Argentinians have already taken this opportunity to return to the homeland of their parents and grandparents. And these days, many more are on their way. In Buenos Aires, the long fashionable pedestrian street, La Florida, is silent. Several shops have already closed down, whilst others are having exceptional sales. Sales have been more than halved. Compared to previous years, turnover has simply plunged. 6 months ago, we could already see that sales look bad. There could easily be 3 to 4 days without any activity. But there are places where business is booming. This market is in a closed down textile factory, but it is no ordinary market. You can't buy or sell anything here with regular money. You barter. The barter market is a closed club. You can only join if you have something to sell, or if you can offer some kind of service. No one can buy their way in with money. However, Argentinians can fulfill most of their needs in these clubs, where everybody is both buyer and seller. I have a shop in the centre of town, but the atmosphere is better here. I also buy a lot of foodstuffs here, vegetables, fruit. Are things going better here or in the centre of town? Things are better here. There are about 4,500 barter clubs spread all over Argentina, with more than 2.5 million members. And now, the National Union of Barter Markets have even printed their own money. This is of course illegal, But because the clubs fulfill the daily needs of millions of Argentinians, the government has turned a blind eye to this parallel currency. And it's not just for daily necessities such as vegetables or the legendary Argentine steak. In this club, its 3,500 members can visit the doctor, have a gutter repaired, lay down on a couch at a psychiatrist, or get a tattoo or a new haircut. I hope things will get better now, so there are jobs and we can earn real money. But at the moment, this is all there is. Without the club you'd be unemployed. Yes, that is for sure. The Barter Club has even got its own travel agency where members can barter for a holiday. We provide what the hotels need. Some need bed sheets, others need painting or cleaning done. Could I, as an electrician, get away for the weekend? Yes. If a hotel needs an electrician, then in return, they will offer accommodation. The Barter Club members are from the middle and working classes, like bus driver Alejandro Torina, who, after a few months of selling herbal medicine, has gained economic success. Things were going badly, and then I was offered to join the Barter Club. I wasn't much for it. They are only pieces of paper, not real money. But I was wrong. I'm actually happy with bartering. I'm helping others and myself. I have a very large family. For now, these markets assure the survival of thousands of Argentinian families. But there is a larger vision for those behind these barter clubs. They dream of a parallel economy completely out of the politicians' hands. Barter clubs are a new phenomenon. It is a kind of reply to the social marginalisation which follows globalisation, which has created some improvements but creates mass unemployment in Latin America. The barter currency shows that one can create a different humane economy. One can include all sectors. No one is kept out. This is why barter money won't die out. It gives people freedom. Cancer sufferers, AIDS sufferers, both the old and the young, are excluded by society. This was not the case before in Latin America, nor is it the case in many other countries. It is 7 years since Horacio Covas and a handful of friends started the first barter club in a garage in Buenos Aires. Today, with 2.5 million members in Argentina alone, they hope barter clubs can become an international phenomenon. We will expand internationally, because in a globalized world, development in one country has consequences for all the others. That is why it's no coincidence that Japan now has similar barter clubs. A few days later, in a humble Buenos Aires neighborhood, we visit the home of bus driver and herbal salesman Alejandro from the market. You have done a lot with the kitchen. Yes, through bartering, I've got some new furniture. I got some kitchen furniture and that little cupboard for the glasses. I'm trying to repair the house. It's quite old. I get the things I need by bartering. Even labour. Carpenters, plumbers. I've had new wiring. This lamp is also from the Barter Club. Alejandro Torina is amongst the few relatively happy Argentinians. His wages from driving a bus and from the market give his family more money than the Plow family, who live in one of the better neighbourhoods of Buenos Aires. A few months ago, Daniel Plow was forced to close his company, which distributed international newspapers and magazines. The family now survive on Alicia Plow's part-time job as a university lecturer, and the money Daniel can earn from driving his own car as a taxi. This amounts to less than €400 a month. Those a little poorer were the first to be affected. One expected that it would not affect those with jobs. But after a while, everyone was affected. I know many without work, or on part-time, like me, who do not have enough to stay in their own homes. Everything is uncertain. One still cannot see where Argentina is heading. The family savings have long since been used up, so they only just pull through because the house is paid for and the rest of the family help out. But how long can this situation go on for? A few months. We can't be talking years. I don't think many families are able to survive like this for many years. More like for months. We are poor, but we live in a house for rich people. I get so depressed about this. I've got tears in my eyes. It affects me so much that I have begun thinking about leaving here. I wouldn't want to leave. But if there is no chance of a decent living here, and there are possibilities abroad, then maybe that is the right solution. The Plough family's economic crisis is not a one-off in Argentina. Over the past decades, millions of Argentinians from the country's large and powerful middle class have been pushed down into poverty. In 1975, Argentina had 1 million poor people. Today, there are 14 million, so there is a large inequality. The failure of the politicians, businessmen, unions and the church to solve this problem has brought us to the current crisis. This is Argentina's longest and most serious crisis. It has now lasted 44 months. In December and January, the fall in the economy was over 20%. It's a real problem for society. Unemployment at 23% is historic. In May, it could reach 30%. The reasons for the crisis are not new. For decades now, the country's changing governments have financed the national debt by taking out loans from abroad. It began in the years under President Menem, when a massive foreign debt was accumulated. Widespread and unchecked corruption arose, which led to this crisis, a managerial crisis. Large groups in society were thrown into poverty, and the middle class became the new poor. The middle class has lost out, but it's also affected many more. There's 60% of people who are outside the banking system. Casual labourers and unemployed people are the big losers. Geographically, Argentina is a huge nation. From north to south, the country is as long as from the middle of Norway to North Africa. It is in the outlying provinces like Jujuy, more than 1,800 kilometres from Buenos Aires, that poverty is at its greatest, and uprisings started in towns like La Quiaca before they reached the larger cities. The Biathon River marks the border between Argentina and Bolivia, between South America's richest and poorest countries. But this all appears to be changing. It's very hard to see the difference between the town of Biathon in Bolivia and La Quiaca, which lies on the Argentinian side of the border. La Quiaca is so far from Buenos Aires that the town has been forgotten by the government of Argentina. The town's residents worked in silver and tin mines in the mountains, but after mass sackings, many survived only with the help from the Catholic Church. The only real meal many children and elderly people get is in the church's kitchens. Thousands of families only see money when one parent gets part-time work at an employment project. This includes Benita Cooper, who is alone with her 9 children. My husband has left me. He says he is working, but he never comes here to help with the children. I can make